Hello, this is Sister Mary Margaret Fussyknickers. You're about to listen to Free State Radio. Why? I don't know. You may hear some verbal ideas, liberty, responsibility, and rights. You may even hear a bad word or two from those foul-mouthed hosts they call talent. So you best shut your mouth and open your mind, because Free State Radio is now on the air.
Specific request? Yes, we had a specific request. Oh, we did. That's right.
Hammers back and the safety's on, safety's on, safety's on. Hammers back and the safety's on unless it's a Glock.
Awesome.
Okay, so first announcement, a couple of things. The opinions expressed on this show are the opinions of the hosts and the hosts alone, unless we specifically identify that we are speaking for the organization or people we are employed by. We do this because we want to do it, and that's about it. My link is wrong. This one works.
Right. We need to post a new post.
No, I did post it.
Did you post it in the Maryland Shooters?
Yes, it is.
Okay, great.
The other thing, I'm going to ask that we take a moment of silence for the two Harford County deputies who lost their lives in a shooting today. So we'll be back to you guys.
It was a really tough day in Harford County, boy. Okay. So we know we have video. Bolts is saying that there's a problem with the mics. If you guys are having trouble with the audio, you need to let us know so we can evaluate whether it's one person or two people.
Well, he said it was me. Sounds like I will.
Right, but that also could be him, his reception, like his computer. So like if we hear from two people, then it's us. If we hear from one person, that's why I said let us know. Anyway, welcome to the February 8th, 2016 edition.
February 10th.
February 10th. I don't even know. Yeah, it seems like one long day. Anyway, the February 10th edition, 2016 edition of Lock and Load Radio. Sorry, we have been not on the air. We have been busy little activists. And doing our best. And, we told you before session that we would be on the air as often as we possibly could. But we felt like, tending to business in Annapolis was a little more important. And certainly you guys will all understand that. Okay. Feedback during the taps. Mike's mic is sounding bad. What'd you do to your mic? Mike's mic. Okay,
so feedback, the little clicking, hissing sound you hear is actually the inversion of headphone boards, the cabling, but there's nothing we can do about that. That should be turned off, so you shouldn't be hearing that feedback section anymore. What about my mic is sounding bad? I have no idea. We haven't touched them in like 3 weeks.
Yeah. So anyway, much going on. I saw a whole lot of you out at the rally, and I thought that went really well, considering they hadn't dropped any crap yet. I thought we had an outstanding turnout. They waited until after the rally and dropped the crap. So
I waited beyond because they actually waited for just the bill drop deadlines to drop everything.
Yeah. So it's we're going to talk a lot about that. Our favorite blonde is supposed to be calling us at some point. What are you looking around for? You knew this, right?
Yeah, we just have no amount of time. So
well, I texted her and said, "Don't forget to call when you can." I figure she has to put the girls to bed, so So anyway, but yes, she's supposed to be calling, and I did text her. So we should from the lovely and talented Shannon this evening, and I want her to weigh in on the bills. You might have seen, and if you haven't seen, you should go to Brian Sears' Facebook page, today's press conference.
I believe you can also go to 2A and Maryland's page for a link to it as well.
Okay, well, let's check that out and see, because
I'm pretty sure he posted it up in the feed.
Yeah. So let's see. Yeah. Oh, breaking news. Senate Gun Bill Day is March 9th and the House Gun Bill Day is March 15th. So in your lead now, March 9th and March 15th. You're going to hear a lot about the bills.
It is like 2013, only instead of being one bill, it's a bunch.
Right. So, I would, no, it's not on his, oh, there it is. Yeah, there it is. Okay. So yeah, you can go to 2A and MD and see today's, press conference if you want. I was trying to think of a more apt name, but I couldn't come up with one fast enough. So I'll just leave it go. Yeah, they have rather interesting legislation out. Hold on one second. Let me pull it up. No, I can't find the article.
On what?
On the three bills they talked about today. This is what happens when I don't.
Article? There was an article released.
Yeah, there was an
Baltimore
article.
Sun?
Yeah, of course.
The Birdcage newspaper. Oh, did I say that out?
I didn't say. I'm gonna get me in trouble.
Let's see here if I can find it real quick.
Yeah, I don't have it.
Some of it may be taken over just because of
So
re-events.
they are making a bill that. Oh, Chris Van Hollen talked about it. Hold on. Yeah, well, I am subscribed to him. Yeah, I know. But if you've not read The Art of War, let me just read to you what Chris Van Hollen wrote. I don't know who he represents, but I imagine he represents at least one person watching the show, if not five. The NRA have a stranglehold in Congress. They have a stranglehold. Yeah. But here in Maryland, we're going to act. That's why I'm proud to support legislation introduced in Annapolis today that will, ready for this? Ban weapons on public college campuses, including community colleges, because, target-rich environments are good for safety. Stop gun permits from going to those on the terrorist watch list. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you heard that correctly. And require convicted domestic abusers to turn over their guns within 48 hours of conviction.
The terrorist watch list. I have one thing to say, but the people who are listening to us aren't going to be able to hear it, but I'll say it twice. It's not 9 o'clock, so I can't say it out loud.
There you go.
I'll be back in just a second.
All right. So yes, and it was the March of the Mikes, actually. It was Mike Miller and Mike Bush and Jamie Raskin, Madaleno. Oh, golly gee, we're going to keep our children safe. And we all have grandchildren, and Miller got up and touted he owns guns, and this is common sense for Maryland. And I was not jumping up and down, as you can imagine. I know you're shocked. Those three of about 40 some odd bills that are out there. Actually, there's 20 some odd bills in the Senate, and I think there's 20 bills in the Senate. I think there's like 40 or so in the House. When Mike gets back, we'll go over some of them. But so yeah, that's the tip of the iceberg. I have not read the bill on domestic abusers. I know in some states they've issued this, and if you so much as is Perrin in the room? Yeah. So Perrin will tell you every now and then when I'm joking around, I'll, put on your arm or whatever. I currently object to that. In some states, they would like you to be stripped of your right to own firearms, because it's domestic abuse or whatever. So anyway, paperwork, Aaron and Tom and ex-checker. We haven't seen you for a while. And Bolts, nice to see you, and everybody else that's in the room or not necessarily. Very nice, Mike. Very nice. Very nice. So, yes, this is I'm not shocked. No, definitely not shocked. But I was a little surprised. Yeah. The domestic violence bill. Did you read it? I know you haven't. You've been.
No, I read parts of it, but not completely. You're talking about which version of it?
The one they talked about today.
That would be.
Give me a bill number. Because I will see how they're.
Lovely senator, I believe.
I want to find out how they're defining domestic abuse.
So I don't think it's been released.
So while he looks for that, and you've got some good bills coming too. I think there's one bill that requires that if you turn down concealed carry, that you they have to notify pretty much everybody and explain why, which I think is transparent and fair.
Yes, we will. That's Raskin's bill.
So Senate Bill what?
That would be Senate Bill 934.
944. I think I get this today. No. That's the firearms application. I wanted the domestic violence bill.
No, you just talked about the notification and reporting.
Yes.
While you were filling time.
Oh, I got you. So we're going to this area of the state to provide notice of a specified denial. In other words, if you turn down for a handgun qualification license or of a firearm application, I stand corrected. It is not. So carry.
Okay, so the other one is
Yes.
Senate Bill 943 and House Bill 1001.
943.
Titled Criminal Procedure Firearms Transfer.
It is requiring more to enforce a person convicted of. I'm going to have to get into the bill. Hold on a second, guys. I have been working 10 and 11-hour days, and I've had one day where I work at all last Saturday in about a month. So my husband is a very patient man, I have to say, because I'm working 4 or 5 hours Saturdays, 4 or 5 hours a day, whatever. It needs done. So, domestically related crime has the meaning stated in 6-233 of this subtitle. That's great. Means a crime committed by a defendant against a victim who is eligible for relief, as defined by, good God, or who had a sexual relationship with the defendant. All right, so I got to go to the family law article. 4-5. Where's my law? I'm looking at 943.
Yeah,
Top of page 2, line 2.
Okay, well, that's existing law.
I'm aware. So if you go down, all right, down in line 3. Domestically related crime has the meaning stated in 6-233, right? So, I bet you this is our girl. Okay. Oh, that's great. I'm done with my con calls. Okay. Oh, sorry. Wrong person. Yeah, sorry.
Folks, it's been one of those days specifically. Today has been lots of people back and forth.
Okay. So anyway, it says domestically related crime has the meaning stated in 6-233. So you go 6-233, which is existing law. And then it tells you to go to 4-501 of the family law article to find out. It says in this section, domestic related crime means it committed to defend against a victim who is eligible for relief as defined in 4-501 of the family law article. Well, here's the thing. I want to know, is a domestically related crime? I understand who it affects. If you've had a relationship, an intimate relationship with someone in the last 12 months, and also says it's a family law article, or if you had sex. But even if you're applying the Bill Clinton rule of, okay. If you're doing Bill Clinton, then, you know, what is. What was it?
Depends on me.
Is, yes. So, you know, if I gave you a hug, could that be connotated? I don't know. But anyway, I don't have the right browser up to pull up what's law. I don't have the link slot of what 451 family law article is. But it doesn't sound good. But at least at the minimum, they're at least requiring you to be tried and found guilty of something.
So, if you're charged with guilty, you're now prohibited from possessing, and they have to notify you. And that's where they kind of stopped talking about it in the presser was, well, the courts aren't notifying people, so you need to notify them. Problem where we come in and the other individual that we would love to have call into the show and talk to us tonight because she's busy putting two little girls to bed.
Yeah, she's coming.
The issue is now it gives these people the court further by person the proof must provide it to the court in accordance with the section that all firearms owned by the person or in the person's possession that violate the prohibitions described in subsection B of this section have been transferred from the person's possession. Transfer of a firearm under the subsection shall be made within 2 days after the conviction or entry of probation before judgment to a state or local law enforcement official or to a federal licensed firearms. We run into a problem here, significant problem here. They're already prohibited. They
Right.
can't touch it. They can't be near it.
Right.
They can't be around it. And I feel that
Your mic plugged in because now they're saying they can't. Somebody said,
yeah, great. I had it muted because I left. So,
so all
whatever.
your lovely points were just gone. He was reading from the bill, but he'll explain.
A transfer of firearm under section to be made with 2 days of eviction or free of probation before judgment. Great. You've given them 2 days. The person prohibited from possessing a firearm may designate a representative to transfer the firearm to a local enforcement or to a federally licensed firearms dealer. Not a lawyer, but I believe that term comes into constructive possession. So we've talked about this when the bill came up last year. And when the bill came last year, recommendation from one of the organizations, the NRA, was you don't want to do anything because there's a Supreme Court case about this. The Supreme Court case has been ruled. I don't remember the name of the case or the ruling, but what it boils down to is once you are prohibited from possessing a firearm under federal law, you're prohibited, period. That instant. So if I had, to me, that would mean if I had firearms out in my office at my house and I was prohibited, I can't even set foot in my house until that issue is taken care of.
Right.
Because then I have potential possession of the firearms illegally. So
I'm sorry, somebody was texting the chat room.
too much
Okay.
reverb. And then has somebody played with the settings on this thing? I don't know.
Don't really think so, but
I haven't touched it.
don't look at me. Does it look the same?
Yeah, it looks the
Mr.
same.
DeLorean?
No, it looks as though-
Okay.
I'd have to look at it closer, and that requires standing up and leaning over the board. So I'll look at it in a minute. And meanwhile, I'll just try to sit back a little bit further to that some of the reverb. The level problem with a deep voice. One of the other, so I don't know how you would actually take care of this, because if I direct, if the person becomes prohibited, a person just comes with what you've now created constructive possession under the law, and they can't do it. The other thing that's bad that I don't like about it is at the end of the bill. So, well, the next section is they have to write written note to court with 3 days. Something is it? Within 5 days, they have to file a written copy of the completed transfer to the court. If a person transfers a firearm to a law enforcement agency under this section, the agency may dispose of the firearm.
Right.
So what do you think the police departments in this state are going to do?
Store and safety.
Yeah.
No, they can also choose what to enforce and what not to enforce. I mean, we've had sheriffs before that have said they weren't going to enforce.
Well, sure.
They to enforce the, I mean, they're,
You think a lot of people are going to be smart enough to actually send their stuff to a sheriff instead of to the police departments?
I don't know. I just care. Oh yeah, so there's that. That lovely little mess. Let me see what's going on in the chat room. You sound like much mouth. Much mouth. Prohibited. We got it. Okay. Yes, we're working on it. And we might get this worked out by the time. Oh, okay. I don't know what to tell you. It's working for others. I don't know because the phone number is not in my book. So
What phone number?
the phone number of the person that is texting me.
Oh. We will not comply.
I don't know. It's a 443 number, so I can't. I have no idea.
I don't know. Text them back and say, who is this?
Somebody with an iPhone. That's all I can tell you. So, any
Sure.
better?
I have no idea.
No,
All I can do is keep talking. If people still don't like it, well, I just say, you know, I choose a couple of them.
Oh, you're us. It's Tim.
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 Oh, okay.
Tim, I don't know what to tell you, sweet pea, because everybody else is chatting away, and I don't see you in the room unless you're in his park. I don't remember.
Not somebody different.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So I don't. Wait.
Oh, crap.
Oh, well, because he's not in the chat room. Okay, so that would be why I don't see him. So I don't know. You can download the MRC client and throw that up, and because that's what I use. Or you can use the link in the chat room and, like, I don't know, close your browser. I don't know what to tell you. Excuse me. So from the old Fat Albert show, gosh. Bop, bop, bop. No, that was another Cosby show. So what else we got?
Well, the long story short is it's spaghetti against the wall from both sides of the
It is.
fence. There are some good bills. There are some actual bills from some of the more commonly anti folks that were actually, you know, from an organizational perspective, speaking as the lobbyist for MSRPA, I can tell you that MSRPA is supporting a couple of bills from typically anti folks. Those of you that are MSRPA members should get this by an email blast at some point. I've got to check with our folks that are doing that. But let's see, one from Delegate Dumais. Crap, I have her name here.
Dumais? Hold on. Dumais firearm application, 184.
Yes.
Okay. So that is require a firearm application contain a copy of the applicant's HQL, and basically you just give them the number of your
So-
HQL card.
In reality, this one is more of a legislative cleanup. Technically, the way the statute reads now, the FFL has to make a photocopy of your HQL and submit the photocopy of HQL to people who gave you HQL. So they've also already changed the 77R to include a block where you put in the number from your HQL. So if you already have the number for the HQL, MSP can look up. They're already getting it. So one's good. The other one is actually from from Senator Raskin of all folks, Senate Bill 944. It's firearms applications, notification, and reporting. I'm going to read the details of the bill, but it basically boils down to if you were denied for an HQL, and you talked somewhat about this already.
Yep.
If you are denied
Did.
a procedure, whether that's to purchase a firearm, report to everybody.
Right.
Okay, we've been saying this for years.
Right.
Report it and act, but more importantly, act on the reporting.
Right.
If it was a prohibited purpose or trying to do something, act on it. If it was, if it's, prosecute the people as somebody's already pointed out. Yes, another year of let's make it even criminal and hard on everybody else. So
Right.
there's some bills in there. Delegate Clippinger has a and there's a Senate version of it too, an enhanced firearms penalties for carrying out severe permit restrictions or carrying without a permit. Okay, well, there's already laws on the books about carrying without a permit, so why are you not prosecuting them? And I can look at it and go, great, all of these have mandatory minimum sentence, which means City of Baltimore will still null process everything and not move an inch.
Right.
But Western Maryland, somebody gets pulled over going from POS Virginia and they didn't arm, throw the book on them.
Right. And by the way, some of my favorite leaders are listening to the show. Now, I just want to remind everybody, we don't care whose name is on a bill. A good 2A bill is a good 2A bill. A bad 2A bill is a bad 2A bill.
Yep.
I know you guys get that, but there are others there that are going to come screaming, how can you support something that's so-and-so? You know what? I don't care.
Hey, I'm supporting, as the lobbyist again, I'm supporting a Broshin bill. Why? Because it wants to put a reduction in the maximum fees that can be charged for the HQL. Do I like Jim Broshin's stances on 2A stuff? Absolutely not. Do I think that what he did to us in 2013 was political and I'd say 34 crap? Yes, I think that it is. But at the same time, it's a good bill. MSRPA, again, speaking officially for them, we are a nonpartisan agency. Do not.
Agency. You are always so picky with me, so I'm just giving it back.
We're a nonpartisan organization.
Mr. Christian.
We're a nonpartisan organization. If there's a good bill, we support it. If there's a bad bill, we'll go after it.
Yeah.
Well, the chat room got really
They're
quiet.
really quiet. What is up with these guys?
They're tired of my mush mouth sound, I guess.
I don't know. I don't know what to do about it. You want to try the other microphone? Yeah, okay.
Can.
I don't know what else to do. But yeah, so please go forth and spread the word that we don't care. I do not remember who passed what bill 20 years ago, nor do I care. What I care is that it became law. It didn't become law. At the end of the day, that's all that matters. So please, when somebody says, I'm never going to support anything that anybody does, take a page out of Mike's book. Stop seeing an absolutes. And, look at good legislation for good legislation and bad legislation. This is not personal. This is not, you're a bad person. This is legislation. This is government.
Now,
This is not your child, that you are raising. This is the laws that we live by. And we are all particularly passionate about it. And some of us, like you guys, like us, more than other people, but we'll absolutely support anybody that supports us on a good bill. And we will absolutely call out anybody that I don't care who you are. If you put out bad legislation on an issue that I care about, you're going to hear about it. Okay, I am a private citizen. I happen to be the chairman of the MSRPA, an issue of which I'm very passionate, but I am a private citizen and I speak for myself, or alternatively, when necessary, I speak for my organization. He's just not even buying into it tonight. He's just no fun. All right, guys. I don't know what the hell Perrin's trying to say.
I don't know either.
Okay. Close to giving up the O is so bad. I don't know what to do. He says it's better, but it has the stuttering B dropout. I don't know what it means, but you do. So anyway, pass the word along. That's really important. Andy's audio is a little better, but not much better. We haven't done anything with my audio. I wonder if it's the internet.
So that's the only thing I can think of, but the only thing we can do is switch over to my phone, which means we'd have to drop the link again.
What do you mean? Oh.
I can't switch the service provider
Yeah.
to the phone without dropping the...
Yeah. God, I don't know what to do. Dropping out and scrambling.
I'm actually going to unplug that.
Unplug what? Okay.
I'm not hooked to it right now.
Okay.
I don't know if that is getting wireless super problems or not.
Okay. You know what you're doing. I don't. So whatever.
Hopefully that's not.
He was bad. He was not well. So headphones. What about the headphones? Let me put them on. I will put them on. I don't think it's going to sound any different, but I will listen.
No, that's for using pairing the headphones with a couple of minute delay causes problems, with people when you hear what.
Ah! You are live. Hello, caller. And who would this?
Hello, lock and load.
Hello, Shannon. How are you, darling?
I have to do this.
Oh, well, same old, a good fight, defending freedom and liberty for all Marylanders, Delawareans, Illinoisans, and everyone else.
Rock on, baby. What are you doing? What are you doing over there?
Keep on.
Oh, I'm keep talking. Okay. I don't know. I have something, and he kind of went silent. So yes, I know you've been very busy. We were actually talking about the domestic violence bill. I was trying to figure out what definition of domestic violence was in the state of Maryland.
Why you gotta ask me questions I can't answer off the top of my head?
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. All right. Tell you what.
Typically, I tell you for 100% certain off the top of my head, but I can tell you that typically a domestic violence crime is a crime that might be described as assault or battery, harassment, but it has that special factor of the intimate partner relationship between the two individuals involved. And the reason you see of domestic violence in a separate category, the reason that if, for example, you and your husband got into a fist fight, you wouldn't be charged with a simple assault. You would be charged with a crime of domestic violence. It's because typically in these cases, that's when you end up with one partner refusing to testify against the other. And so the state has a higher burden to make that case. They don't have witness or victim testify.
Okay. All right. Well, so what would you like to talk about? I know there was a press conference today that maybe you have to catch.
Yes, I did see that. Well, oh gee, where to start? Apparently, infringing on the rights of Maryland citizens in 2013 and then getting their hands smashed by the Fourth Circuit wasn't good enough. They've decided to come back for a second round. So, what did we see today? We saw the leadership of both chambers and the Attorney General coming together to announce what they're calling common sense gun legislation. And they picked sort of a odd conglomeration of bills to put together into this package.
Shannon, hold that thought right there. Do you want to if we're reissue the, we should do it? Or do you think it's not going to do any good?
Do you guys want to deal with about a 2-minute delay if I reset up the connection? You'll end up having to have another link to get it into the again. I'll have a problem doing it, but it's going to drop the show for about 2 minutes while I do that. Let me know if that's an issue or if you guys just want to keep going the way we're going now. So
Aaron says, I think he had a big John and fight. I don't know. I don't plan on getting any fist fights with anybody anytime soon. So we're gonna grind out for a minute while we hear back from the audience, because I don't want, the reason that I asked this is what you're saying is important. I don't want to miss it, and we're having some audio problems. We had video problems. We solved that. Now we're having some audio problems. We think it's due to the bandwidth, and we'll reissue. We'll have to basically restart the show
No problem.
on the internet. So I am waiting for them to chime in and
Semper
Gumby.
I've got one response.
Yep.
All right, guys, we'll be back in a couple of
Yeah,
minutes.
I'm even getting texts. All right, the chat room is still open.